It's still so unreal for me. I'm still thinking, what am I doing? Where am I? So it's probably going to be tonight that I'm going to realize what actually happened today. So yeah, really cool.
Absolutely. I also feel really excited about this. It's amazing. We're going to spend 2 amazing years. Our friends now have told us how great it was going to be, so we're very excited. A lot of things. It started quite a while ago. We started in June when we sent our applications. We had to make a whole application with a written text and a video, like a recording, for 1 minute in French and English. And then we had to wait to get the answer. They selected 20 of us. And then we came for the first interview with 4 people from the jury. That was quite exciting. And I felt really nervous as well.
Yeah, sure. So that was the first jury. They selected 8 people, 8 semifinalists. You probably have all seen that photo that was posted. And then those 8 semifinalists went to Paris for 2 days training. And then the 8 semifinalists went to see a second jury of, I guess it was 4 people too, right? Yeah, 4 people. And they selected the 4 finalists. So ourselves and Matteo and Clément. And yeah, we had 2 other days of trainings and tests here at the resort. And then yesterday we met with our vice presidents. So that was pretty impressive.
I think our first memory this morning was our selection 2 years ago when we were selected, when we were at your place, Joana and Giona. So we were a little bit sad, but also very happy to see that you're now our new ambassador team for the next 2 years. And we are very looking forward to pass this 3 months with them, to train them what we have discovered and what we have lived, so that you have really a perfect future just in front of you.
Yeah, they are going to work a lot for their training. They're going to visit the United States and the parks in Florida and California. They're going to meet all the ambassadors from across the world. And we have 3 months to work with them, to prepare them to be the best ambassadors on January the 1st. It's going to be very exciting too.
Experience.
I think we share lots of memories together, but one of the best is in fact the 12th of April, 2 years ago, when we celebrated the 25th anniversary of the destination of our resort, with all our cast members, with Catherine Powell on Main Street, dancing and singing all together with you, with lots of you. So I think it is one of the best memories.
So you all should know that I'm actually a fan of InsidEars, so I'm actually your fan, and we follow you. I follow Twitter, I follow Facebook, I look at all the content that you're posting. So I'm actually looking very forward to work with all of you to actually bond and share the passion for the Disney brand and Disneyland Paris.
And I'm looking forward to all the volunteers events, because for me, the children who love Disneyland Paris, and if we can bring a little bit of hope and joy, that's going to be, I think, what I'm mostly looking forward to.
I actually think that it's something that we've always done as ambassadors. I mean, Laura, Janice, and Michael have done it. Other ambassadors have done it. I think it's really just being out there and share the passion with both cast members and our guests. I think that that's mainly the main part of being an ambassador, just sharing that passion for what is the universe of Disney.
Well, I started in Disneyland Paris in 2007. I was working for summer contracts. I worked in restaurants, and then I did attractions, worked in several restaurants, several attractions, and then I left Disney and I worked in Paris as a receptionist in 4- and 5-star hotels. And then I decided to leave Paris completely and come back to Disneyland because I missed it so much. So I came back and I worked in City Hall for 1.5 years. And then I left City Hall, went to the New York hotel as a concierge, and I also worked in the convention center. And now I was working at World of Disney, the shop in the Disney Village that you might know, the biggest one. And now I'm an ambassador.
So I actually started out at Disneyland Paris in 2010 as an interviewer. So you all probably have seen those cast members at the entrance of both parks with their tablet asking people, oh, well, hi, where are you from? And, do you like it here? And et cetera, et cetera. So I've done that for 5 years. And then in 2015, I changed and I went to the guest communication team, ou en français, le département communication visiteur. So I've been working there for 3 years. And then since today, I'm here with you guys.
Exciting new chapter of your career. Laura.
So I started with the company 10 years ago here in Disneyland Paris. I worked first of all in the shops here in the Disneyland Park at Adventureland in the Giraffe Curieuse, the curious giraffe. I worked there for 3 years. I started next to it my studies in Paris and a bachelor degree. I decided then to do a hospitality management master degree, so I worked then at the reception of the Disneyland Hotel for 2 years, which I loved a lot. So after the Disneyland Hotel, I moved to the Newport Bay Club Hotel, where we're a team leader at the reception for a year. Then I worked as a team leader at the restaurants, the Cape Cod and the Yacht Club restaurant, and then I became team leader for housekeeping just before becoming an ambassador with Michael 2 years ago.
Merci Laura.
And for me, just before I met Laura for the Ambassador program, I started in Disneyland Paris in 2012, for the 20th anniversary. I was team leader in the park operation for the first 2 years in the Walt Disney Studios Park in the attractions, and for the last 2 years in the food and beverage here in the Disneyland Park in 2 different restaurants. And when I applied for the Ambassador program, I was working in a support team called PC Operations. You probably don't know that, but it's kind of people working with the operation team to improve the guest experience on the park, especially on the efficiency.
I really enjoy to still be a guest from time to time in the park, especially when my family from Germany comes. As I did last weekend. They came and I had a great time just in the parks, going around, see what season is going around, which flowers, which colors are in the park, really see the season, but also to enjoy all the attractions and the rides in the park. So last week I went to the Walt Disney Studios to see once the Rendezvous Gourmand, which is still in the park right now, but also the Marvelous Season. So really I enjoy every time my guest special day.
What about you, Michaela?
Yes, it's quite the same for me, because even if we work here and even if we are here quite every day, it's very interesting to be there and discover new things. I was on the park yesterday with my friends, and it was incredible to see all different things that changed every day, everywhere, the flowers, the plants. Halloween is coming in the park, so everything's changed from yesterday, and it's very interesting. But it's also very interesting to discover all our destinations around the globe. We went to Walt Disney World and Disneyland in California with Laura during our training. She visited Shanghai, and it's quite very interesting to travel across the world to see all the Disney resorts.
Thank you. Joana, what's your take?
I was just wondering, it's Liz from who's so passionate about Run Disney, isn't it? Yeah, I thought so. Hi, nice to meet you. I love bringing people to the parks that have never been. It's a way of seeing things in the park through their eyes, like it's the first time. So I love going to the parks with new people. And like Mikael says, like there's always something to discover. Like you guys, I mean, you go into the park like, oh wait, that changed, or that's new. So that's always really nice to see.
Et toi, Joana?
Exactly the same. I love going to the parks. I just love walking around, even if I don't bring someone, just going by myself and just walking around and see new things that just popped up during the night. But it's really, I mean, we're in love with the park, so we always like going in it and discovering new things too.
Alors pour ma part, j'ai déjà trouvé mon futur job. Je retourne en hôtellerie Par contre, sur un autre poste, je vais travailler en tant qu'assistante direction hôtelière sur la partie sécurité et qualité dans les 7 hôtels Disney.
Donc on y réfléchit, mais il y a 2 propositions très intéressantes qui m'ont été faites, qui sont en train de se concrétiser. Donc si j'ai vraiment beaucoup de chance, il faudra que je fasse un choix et je verrai. Donc il y a, pour vous donner quelques pistes sans vous dévoiler trop, parce que je préfère rester sur mes gardes par rapport à tout ça, il y a quelque chose qui est beaucoup plus tourné vers les opérations, et à l'opposé, quelque chose qui est beaucoup plus dans les métiers support. Donc j'ai vraiment...
I applied because my colleagues told me to. All my colleagues were like, hey, you should apply for the Ambassador program, it will suit you. And I was like, oh, maybe. And then I went to the information sessions, because we have information sessions with the current ambassadors, and they explain what the job is, what we're supposed to do, and I loved it. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to be something I will really like doing. So all my colleagues were pushing me to do it, so I did it, and now I am here.
What about you, Giona?
So actually, I already tried it a couple of years ago in 2014, and I was in the semifinals. And I've also worked with a couple of ex-ambassadors on projects, for example, with you. So I always got, the feeling of what an ambassador is, and it's so much fun. And I mean, I'll be honest with you, like I'm a huge Disney fan. So for me, it's just an immense honor to be able to represent the Disney brand in Disneyland Paris. So when the occasion came up a couple of months ago, I was like, okay, now it's my turn. And I just went for it, and here I am. One of the most magical moments for me was the 20th anniversary flash mob. I think that the 25th one was even more immersive, so it was a bigger setup, so that was very special as well. But the 20th one was the very first one, so we basically didn't know what was going to happen. And I remember getting up, I think it was like 5 o'clock in the morning, and we got on Main Street at 6 o'clock, and we practiced and we practiced and we practiced, and then the gates went open and all the guests came in and they watched us, and that was really a magical moment. I think even more magical was the moment after that, when it wasn't a red carpet, I think it was a purple carpet, came in the middle of Main Street and all the guests went through it and we were applauding. That was really very special for me. Yeah.
For me, I'd say it's more a bit of everyday things. It's like when you meet a child and he's dressed or she's dressed like a princess, and you just start talking to her or him, and I feel like crying all the time because they're so into it. It's so magical for them, and so it's something that really touches me every time. Is every time a child just smiles and loves what he's doing or what she's doing, and that's my magical moment. So I get a bit of magical moments every day, and that's my pleasure.
Thank you, Joana. Laura?
One of my favorite and magical memories would be as a guest when I visited for the very first time Disneyland California. Because when I was there with my friends a few years ago for the first time on Main Street, I just felt the spirit of Walt Disney. It's really something very magical that you're in the park where Walt Disney was. He constructed it and you can really feel the spirit and this magic. So this would be my guest experience, my favorite magical moment. And as a cast member, I would say the same as Joana. I really love this magical moments in operations, in the hotels or in the parks, seeing little kids dressing up or even adults and have great interaction with them just to share together this Disney moments, which is really something very heartful.
Et Michael?
And well, I think I've got 2 magical moments. The first one is here in Disneyland Paris in January 2012. My first day here, it was a Disney tradition training, you probably know about that. And when I realized that it was the beginning of something new, I was very, very excited about that. And the second one is when we went to Disneyland California with Laura Janice 2 years ago, and when during our training they opened the door of the Walt's apartment in Main Street, USA. Wow, it was very surprising to be there and thinking about the legacy of Walt and all the things he built for us.
We want to
Stitch
know.
for me, I didn't change.
For me, it's Rapunzel, Réponse.
Because you look like her?
For me, that would be Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast.
And why, Giona? Why Lumiere?
Because I just feel that Lumiere basically embodies what is Disney. His song is Be Our Guest. And Disney, we want you to be our guest. And he's just he has a lot of flair. I like that.
Joana?
And mine is Merida. I love Merida because she's from Scotland. I am a big fan of Scotland. And also because she's into family and she's brave and she's not like all the other princesses. She's strong, and that's what I like about her.
Thank you. We can give them a big round of applause for their first media interview.
Thank you so much.
So, next rendezvous on the road.